Good that you're watching to the video on demand of the weekly Monday stream that we of course do here on the React channel every week, or on Twitch if you are on Twitch. Thanks for joining, everyone. We have a fun show. We're gonna predict and kind of look ahead at the state of play that is very likely going to come in June. So I think that will be exciting. And in an hour from now, Ubisoft will post the patch notes for the Assassin's Creed Shadows update that we get tomorrow. So we'll of course be live reacting to that and all that sort of stuff. So Elmim, thanks for joining there on Twitch. And Melissa, I already saw you there. How have you been and how did the run go? Of course, last week you said you were doing something crazy. And it seems like you're still alive. So let me know how it went. Personally, I had a nice weekend. I've been doing some AI stuff. I met a friend last week on Wednesday, and he was like, kind of like, yeah, he talked about some of the new advancements. Obviously, one of the big things is like we will remember this. Let's see if I can like. We will remember this moment, but this is fake. This is not real. Wait, oh my god.
Yes!
Woo! Maybe I already saw it, but this is generated in Google's new AI model. And the prompt was getting a victory royale with just a pickaxe. And Google thought, oh yeah, that has to be a let's play or something. Love how, and that's what I just see, it's like a recording of a TV screen and not like an actual screen. But this person does not exist. We humans are so predictable that AI can now make a ton of videos. You probably already saw it, right? Hey, Jet Laner, good to see you. Yeah, made it for the live. Yeah, you did. Kamiso, I think it's right. Fassy, good to see you too. Thanks for remembering. I missed my goal time, but still got third for my division and 30th overall. It was a competitive race with 7k runners. That's insane. 30th overall. No more lost toenails. That's great. Hey, Blazing Flame, good to see you as well. But that's insane. I missed my goal time, but still got third for my division. I mean, then you still did very, very well. So maybe your goal time was a bit too ambitious, and now you still have something to chase. Like, that is another thing with goals. If you reach them, it's, yeah, you can get into a black hole. Dovensmeech, good to see you as well. I'm early, yes, you are. And Brock, good to see you too. Exactly 1 year for GTA 6. Yeah, I saw that. May 26th. If the game will still come out though, let's do a poll. I namely think, and let me know in the comments too, that we will not get GTA 6 on May 26th. I would love to be wrong. Rockstar and Take-Two have said usually when we do a legit date, we actually hit it. But for me, there are two reasons why I don't think it's gonna happen. One, they did not think that it was going to launch in 2025. Like Jason Schreier talked to many developers, and they all said, yeah, we never thought 2025 was a realistic date. So then 6 months later, suddenly it's a realistic date. Another thing is, May is already in the next financial year. Thanks for the Prime sub there. Rumulator, appreciate you. But yeah, May is already, and hello. Did you guys hear the Odyssey sound too? I think you did, right? But May is already in Take-Two's next financial year. So it's already not coming out in this financial year, and May is early in their financial year. So if they move it, they still get it in that same financial year, even if they put it out in October. That's why I think, because there's so much riding on this game, if they at any point are like, we can make it better if we do X, or we can add more content to online, or make sure that it's more like, in a way better state when it comes out. Also, May is just a weird release month, because they are going to launch, I think, the single player first, and then do the online later. So they're going to launch the online in like end of June, or in the summer. That's not a good, like, look at the amount of games that are coming out. Like May, we this week have Elden Ring. After that, though, it's like we have Death Stranding. So there are not a lot of games coming out, and that's because everyone goes outside in the summer. So I really think, and I would love to be wrong, but I really think it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen in May. There are just too many things that are like an October date would be way better for them. Holiday season, Christmas time, launch GTA Online in December, like around Christmas. Damn, that's crazy. That's way better than June or July. GTA 4 came out in April, yeah, but that's a different time. We're not in the same time anymore. And did it had an online mode as well, right? But not like GTA Online type shit. Yuppie, good to see you. Tomorrow, the AC Shadows X Dead by Daylight collaboration. Yes, Severus. And the cool part is, we will be live reacting to the patch notes dropping very soon. Ubisoft is making a new Rayman game. Yeah, I know. Stop the negativity. What? Sorry. You can't win. But yeah, you guys, when Mafia comes out, we will see. I think you're quite right. Well, Jet Laner, let's see what happens. What happened with Free Roam last week? I see it on Spotify and not on Luke's channel. Well, David Smits, that's because you're a real fan. No, we wanted to do it, but then I was playing a game, and then I forgot the time, like very, very amateur. And then Luke was like, "Are you ready?" And then I did not respond for like 15 minutes. So then I finally responded, and then Luke was still in his stream, and he then decided to watch an IGN video of Arc Raiders, and I was like, sure, like I know how important those videos for his Luke live channel are. So I was like, sure, go watch that. But I thought, okay, that video is 7 minutes. It's probably gonna take 10 minutes for him to record a video about that Arc Raiders IGN video. Well, it took him half an hour or something. So then it was pretty late when I got on. So then we decided to just combine the stream. So I just joined his stream in so it's a live stream on Friday. So and then Jacob really nicely still clipped that segment and put it as a podcast online. So that's why there's also no intro and stuff. But that's kind of what it is. Yes, patch notes coming in an hour. Yeah. I'm currently waiting for Stellar Blade PC and the Vindictus Alpha. Yeah, I actually responded and then actually reached out regarding that Vindictus Alpha. I think it looks cool. So we're gonna talk about. We're gonna maybe I have something to say about it. But Nintendo also launched a new console now. Is that different? Well, yes. And you know why? It's a handheld. And you know what? People can take handhelds on a holiday. If you think about it, handhelds actually are really, really nice during the summer, because that's the only way you can still play games. If you go on a holiday with your family or whatever, and you still want to play your games, the Switch is great. So that's why I think for a handheld and for a console launching in the summer is actually different. Also, another reason is, if you launch during the holiday season, every new console launch is gonna sell out, no matter what. So, if you launch in November, you're gonna sell out no matter what. If you launch now in the summer, you're gonna sell out no matter what. But then you can make sure that during the holiday season, when everyone is looking for a present, you can have a lot of supply. So I actually think launching a console in June is way smarter than launching it around the holiday season. So that's why I think it's different than launching a game. A game where, like, they want you to play GTA Online, but when it's like 50 degrees outside because next year global warming is going to be even crazier, you're not going to play GTA Online. I mean, many people will, but less. Like, they want to get the mainstream too. Hello squad, random, but am I the only one who thinks Assassin's Creed Shadows is not as good as Origins, Odyssey, or Valhalla? I need to know more specifics, but I don't think you're the only one. Of course, let me know if you agree. But I think that in terms of the story in particular, Shadows did not really deliver, sadly. But I do think it's kind of like what you want from these games. I do think the game does a lot of things right. I think the stealth gameplay, they like playing now way just feels insane. I think from a stealth angle, Shadows has the best incorporation of stealth in an RPG game. But yeah, I like the story is sadly not that great, and there are just too many NPCs in that game. And I think one of the reasons also is that they divide the story and the narrative between multiple studios. So I think what they do is, okay, we have 13 targets or whatever. You, studio in Sofia or whatever, or Bordeaux, you go make a content, you go make the story quest about target number 12. Okay, so they're like, okay, we're going to do target number 12. We're in this region, so we have this playground. And we are going to introduce our characters into this story because we start from scratch. We don't know what the other guys are doing, so that's why we're making this story. And then you go into this game, and every time, oh, now you meet this character, now you meet this character. And at one point, it's overwhelming. And I think that is kind of where Odyssey, for example, they had really, the family story was really, really concentrated. And Origins had that, of course, as well, where the main story was really, really great. And yeah, just a through line through the game. So I do hope they go back to that approach. And I think with Hexay, we won't have that issue. So Maya, we got to talk about the new main channel picture. I'm not feeling it. Still better than Luke, though. The new main channel... What is wrong with the new main channel picture? It's amazing. It's Yote. So Maya, I need better feedback. Odyssey still has the best story. Yeah, and Odyssey had like the best impact. I still love with Odyssey that you're like at one point you of course think, oh, like I'm gonna kill my father now. Obviously that turned out to be different, but having that important moment very early on, I think really worked. And to be fair, I think Shadow's story was pretty cool up until the point where you could go after all the targets in a random order. That is where they kind of lost me. And that's why I think the ally content is actually some of the best, because that was also really about one character who you meet. And yeah, just way more focused, way more traditional side missions that overall the game does kind of miss. Good point about the handheld. Good to hear. Peps Gaming, good to see you. Watching this on my phone, but could not chat, so I switched to PC. Well, Peps, good that you were here. That's cool. Hello, squad. Dropped the bomb, but still no reason why. Shadows is less. Why does Shadows take itself so seriously? That is a good question, Melissa. And what the developers told me, at least, is that is just how they interpreted the setting. I mean, if you look at, for example, a Shogun, that's also very serious. But I still think they had some funny moments because they brought in, the captain, of course, and just the whole like him not understanding the Japanese culture and stuff. And maybe they could have done more with that with Yasuke, but instead they already made Yasuke sort of a Japanese expert at the start of the game. At least it felt like that. And yeah, then you don't get those funny, non-serious moments. And for ancient Greece, they thought that they yeah, that setting just worked way better to be kind of more open, more colorful, more funny. But to be fair, like some of the writers from Odyssey are not at Quebec anymore, so maybe that also has to do with why it does not reach that same level. I like the Shadows Act 1 story and the end, the open world. Yes, Doversmeets, I think you nailed it. Yeah, the Act 1 story was great. I loved the meeting between Naue and Yasuke and how that kind of went. But then after that, it was like I love overall the Assassin's Creed games in general because they give you so much freedom. But I think for the story, and I do hope that they get that feedback now, yeah, they should just focus on, yeah, or maybe still have the targets, but that be like a separate sort of story arc you can follow. That's kind of what Odyssey did as well, right? It had the family story where you just go after or like figure that part out, and then you also could go after the Order of the Ancients, so you kind of had that story arc, and you had the Atlantis Isu story arc. I think that was like a great, because it did not, going after these targets that also were not very impactful in Odyssey felt more like a cool side activity instead of being incorporated into the main story, and that's why I think it worked better. The main narrative of Odyssey worked better. But I hope they learn from that. We will see, though. Let's do the first topic, because it's time. State of play time, you know? Yeah, agreed. I do not like the open format storytelling. It did not allow for any character development. Yeah, that's the problem. Again, with other studios also working on the narrative for Shadows, they cannot move Naue or Yasuke's arc forward because you can do it in any order. So maybe something would happen in one of the targets, and then, yeah, basically if you of course do, you have 5 targets, if you do them in a random order, if something big happens at target 1, but the person that that chooses like to do that target as the final one, it will feel very weird if Naue does not revert back to that moment, or maybe changes or something like that. So that's why I feel all those story arcs just cannot move the character forward. Same with the Fallout DLCs. They also, of course, were very they took place, like you could do them after completing one story arc in England. So they could not move Eivor's personality forward, because if you did them early in the game and she made like a big revelation in one of the DLCs, then came back into the main game, yeah, the main game would not be able to react to that. So that's why I am, to be fair, excited about the fact that Shadows of or Claws of Awaji, the Shadows DLC, is taking place after the main story ending. I think that's great, because that means that they can, that the DLC will have impactful story moments. And Odyssey had that, of course, too, even though they were not always that great. But yeah, that's, I think it's overall exciting. Okay. A state of play is incoming. Probably not a showcase, but let's still look at what we can expect. So we go over here to Twitter, to Jeff Grubb, PlayStation event in June. That's the entirety of what I can confirm. No specific dates, not sure if it's a state of play or a big boys showcase, but I lean towards a state of play. And then you might be like, okay, Jeff Grubb, why would I believe this? Well, if we go, for example, here, 1 year ago, Jeff Grubb, or like this new state of play confirmed for tomorrow, the previous rumor was, Jeff Grubb says, Sony is committed to a showcase by the end of May. So basically, that is when he was right. And also here, 9 months ago, a PlayStation State of Play, another showcase, is coming by the end of September. And then, well, indeed, we got a State of Play September 25th last year. So, I'm gonna believe this. Of course, that's where Yote was revealed. Like, that is what all the state of plays have been doing. They have been, like, they have a lot of third-party stuff, but always at the end seem to drop some sort of first-party announcement or new trailer. So I think we can at least expect that. Let's go over what we can expect. I also, at the end, want to kind of look at what we saw previously. Maybe those will show up again. So Maya, thanks for the super chat. In Shadows, you need to understand to read the codex, or you will never understand the story of the targets. But here's the thing. That should not be necessary. Games should communicate its story better. I have the same criticism of FromSoft. Thanks for the super chat as always, Samaya. And yeah, I do agree. And it's kind of wild. And that's why, even with the delay, Shadows still did not really feel finished. They, of course, added the codexes for each character later on. So, even if you, like, pick up the game later, you would be, okay, who is this person? What is that now? Like, it's hard to keep track of everything. So, yeah, it's kind of wild that a basic feature like character portraits were added later on. But overall, I do agree. And, yeah, for FromSoft, for me, it would help me be more engaged as well if those games had a story. Because, yeah, that is, you kind of notice it when games do not have stories. That you kind of like, okay, that is something that actually keeps me going. Even if I'm doing maybe the same thing over again, I want to know the next beat. I think the Naughty Dog games are, of course, a great example. I do think that for those type of games, their gameplay is really, really good. Especially in The Last of Us Part 2. But you usually are just excited to see where the story continues. And what, like, cutscene or cool set-piece moment happens next. So if your game does not really have that, yeah, that does suck. But first, let's look at more leaks and rumors for things that could show up at the State of Play. Because Nate the Hate says Starfield is coming to PS5 and should be announced this year. Is that a surprise? No. I mean, we just got the Hellblade 2 announcement. Indiana Jones already made its way over. Of course, Doom, Gears of War. So this is like a question of when, not if. And I think it would be a baller move for them to just put this in the State of Play. Because Xbox would be down for that. To be fair though, I don't think an Xbox game has shown up in a State of Play. But correct me if I'm wrong. I think Forza was only in, like, through social posts and stuff. So maybe during the Xbox showcase, Microsoft will announce the second DLC for Starfield and then also say, yo, it's coming to PS5. I can see that too, but maybe it's during the State of Play as well. We know that 2K is preparing an announcement for the BioShock franchise, and it seems like Rapture will play a significant role in the upcoming announcement. Like, I saw people make a great point recently. We love BioShock. But again, it's 2007 when that game came out. Now, sure, they did remasters and stuff. But I do think there's a huge, like, a lot of PS5 owners right now have never played BioShock. So, I do think making a remake first, get people invested, and then come out with the new game is probably a smart way to go about it. But yeah, we will see. 2K is not very known for their remakes. Of course, they did the Mafia thing, so maybe it will be like that. I hope this is true, but I would prefer to see the new game. But I do get that they want to at least, like, put the game in people's minds again, the franchise. They, of course, have a movie coming with Netflix as well, so yeah, people will then be like, okay, where is this coming from? Let's play the remake. So I can see that happen, and I do think that's like kind of a Sony announcement for sure. What we should not expect, this is a recent leak from Colin Moriarty on his podcast, Sacred Symbols. Sony has no marketing plans for Marathon next quarter. Of course, as you probably know, there is a lot wrong with the Bungie extraction shooter. Art was stolen and used in the game, like just ripped off. So they now have to go through all the assets to see, okay, what the heck? They cannot show any trailer, because if that trailer shows that art again, or anything else that was stolen, that's like a really, really bad look. So I think we will not see Marathon for a long time. It will probably get delayed from the September thing as well. And of course, a June State of Play also makes a lot of sense because, yeah, they need to promote Death Stranding 2 one more time. Now, Kojima is of course friends with Jeff Keighley, so it could totally be that during Summer Game Fest he shows up with a trailer. But I can also see Sony, of course, during their own State of Play be like, yo, this is a very big game. Look, it looks amazing. Way more action this time. June. Yeah, it's coming very, very soon. So, yeah, I do think that they actually do early access with this game. With this, by the way. So if you like get a digital Lux edition, you get like early access, which is new for Sony games. So I'm curious if they will do more with that. Although we know Ghost of Yotei does not have that, so I think that's pretty interesting. But yeah. And yeah, I already said it. Ghost of Yotei, of course. That's what I'm looking forward to. And overall State of Plays really mostly have games that are like coming in the next few months. So Ghost of Yotei is totally going to show up, of course. I totally think they will do like a dedicated State of Play because that was a huge success for the first game. But I do think having a more, this is like what it feels to play 10-minute demo or maybe 6 minutes because it's in the State of Play would be very, very cool. That might be the ending, actually. I can see that do that. Although that would, of course, not be as exciting as a new announcement. But yeah, Ghost of Yotei will, of course, totally show up. And this June State of Play, usually they do a State of Play in September as well. So I don't think this is the final time they can really, really showcase the game in a State of Play. But yeah, we want to see some actual gameplay. And I can't freaking wait. I think the game will be way bigger than we anticipate. That's kind of that there will be way more like tiny things. They already have a sort of mini game, kind of like Gwent in the game. They have like bounties. I really think in terms of side content, this game is gonna blow the first one out of the water, and I can't wait. Of course, we also had the announcement for the brand new Housemarque game. It's basically Returnal spiritual successor. Yeah, you die over and over, and then try to advance in a level. And actually, what they said at the end of the previous State of Play is this.
All of us at Housemarque.
I looked it up. Let me check that. Wow, I planned that to go very smooth. Let's.
And more about Saros.
Yeah.
An ominous eclipse. All of us at Housemarque can't wait to share more about Saros, with our first look at gameplay coming later this year.
First look at gameplay coming later this year. I mean, that could be that during the State of Play. I think it depends on... We know this game is like 2026. I think it depends on if it's early 2026 or if we get it like later in 2026. Of course, Returnal was more a spring-summer game. So... yeah, I think early 2026 would be kind of cool, and yeah, these guys at the Housemarque are like fast. So if they like use a lot of the Returnal mechanics, I can see them pull it off. But yeah, maybe not during this State of Play if they do another one in September, but we could totally see this show up. Then there is like, I hope there are some surprises as well. And maybe this is not a surprise, but Until Dawn, the PS5 remake that launched last October, had a new ending and it hinted at a possible sequel. I watched it. I'm not gonna like show you it here, but we of course also had rumors already of Firesprite. That's the studio that did the Call of the Mountain VR game for Horizon. They also were working on a horror game. We had leaks that it's probably going to be Until Dawn 2. So they of course just did the movie. I heard some like mixed things about it. Some people that I talked to really liked it, and on the internet I heard like, oh, it's not that great. It's kind of came and went as well. So I don't think it's the splash that Sony wanted. But yeah, they have been working on a sequel seemingly for Until Dawn, and I think that's great. There are quite some games like this, but not at the quality and at the production value that Until Dawn had. So let's hope that we get the sequel. I think that would be pretty cool, and we might see it. They've been working on it for a couple of years already. So, but of course, the big one is we are continuing to create epic solo adventures for Aloy, but there is more. A new internal team is developing a separate online game project set in Horizon's universe, featuring a new cast of characters and a unique stylized look. Friends will be able to explore the majestic wilds of Horizon together. So this was December 2022, but we know that this game has been in development for a long time. Wait, my face is blocking it. Bleep. So it's going to happen. If we look at the recent job openings, they always have job openings at Guerrilla, but here they are looking for a director of product management. Like here, they're looking for a director of product management. You'll be a key member of the core leadership team responsible for the development, launch, and live phase of a new online experience targeting a broad audience set in the Horizon universe. Like, people always, when they talk about the marathon and the fair games, we're going to touch on fair games in a second, they're like, oh, the Sony, what do they have in live service, like, in terms of live service games? This is their biggest bet. Horizon Online is their biggest bet. This is Guerrilla Games delaying, basically, their single-player offering. Because Forbidden West came out in 2022. So, 3 years ago. If they did not do this online game, I think we would have seen Horizon 3. Oh, something fell. If they did not do this online game, I think Horizon 3 would have launched near the end of the PS5 life cycle. So like 2028 maybe, or 2027. Now they will likely launch it way later because a lot of single player developers are working on this co-op game. So it's not going to be... It's already going to be the investment that they put into this game that's like hundreds of millions of dollars. It's also that, yeah, it delayed the thing that they know will make them money. So, but it's a gamble. They're doing their best. They're trying at least. We will see. But I would love to see that game finally, because then we can stop looking at the job openings and not have like an idea of what it looks like. We of course had the leaked image, but that was very old. So I don't want to like I don't want to like talk too much about that. But we will see, hopefully, in the June state of play. Insomniac is actively working on Marvel's Wolverine for PS5, but they won't share news just because you ask. Things take time, resource, and the green light to share them. I still think it's wild that they announced this in 2021. I mean, they wanted to get like people to hire people to work on it. But we, of course, had the big leak. A lot of gameplay is out there. I really think that it would be good for them to post a new trailer, get the hype back on the road. But we learned that the creative director has left the project. So they switched directors, and that's never a good sign. So it might be that they need more time for this. I mean, Insomniac already had an insane run this generation. Okay, Miles Morales also came out to PS4, but it was a PS5 launch game, of course. Ratchet & Clank and Spider-Man 2. So if they... Like, that's already more than some studios will not... Sony studios will not release a new game during the PS5 generation, because they worked on live service stuff that got cancelled. So Insomniac is already, like, top tier, but... Yeah, they kind of lost their groove after Spider-Man 2. I do think Wolverine was planned for maybe... Perfect World this year. I mean, Sony could use it, but otherwise next year. So I still hope this game is next year, because we also know that Intergalactic and The Witcher 4, but let's focus on the Sony exclusive. It will not release before 2027 is what Jason Schreier said, and he scores mostly right. So what is the 2026 single player Sony game then? That's going to be the question. I think they want to have that be Wolverine and then Intergalactic in 2027. But we will see. So yeah, don't expect Intergalactic at the state of play. Of course, we learned recently that Naughty Dog has a second game. It's not a smaller project. So Uncharted Lost Legacy style game, I would be down for that. Of course, check out the video that I did recently. We'll leave a link in the video description as well. But yeah, that would be cool. Like, I want to have some surprise, but I think with the state of play, though, we should be kind of not expecting it. I think they will announce one first-party game. Like, if I really have to guess, if it's just a state of play, I think we will get Ghost of Yotei and Death Stranding 2. And then I think they will announce Horizon Online or something like that at the end. So either Horizon Online, Until Dawn 2, or the God of War Grease game. That we, of course, know is coming as well. If it's like coming this year, that would be like a, oh my god, Miles Morales type moment where it's like, what? A new Spider-Man game already and it's coming out this year? I want to believe. Again, Jeff Grubb, amazing track record. I think it makes sense for them to do a smaller God of War game. And yeah, set in Greece, let people learn more about Kratos before 2018 that they reference back to in Ragnarok and of course in 2018. I think makes a lot of sense. Come on. That would be great. But yeah, I want to quickly look at what other Sony teams are doing. Team Asobi, of course, just launched Astrobot, again, Fire Sprite, Until Dawn 2, Guerrilla Horizon Online, Saros, Housemarque, Media Molecule, of course, they worked on Dreams Forever, Little Big Planet. They're now doing a new IP. I think they need more time. Dreams, of course, recently got cancelled. Ben Studio just put out Days Gone Remastered, and their live service game just got cancelled. So I'm not expecting them anytime soon. Bluepoint, of course, did the Demon's Souls remake at the launch of the PS5. But after that, their live service game got cancelled. So yeah, they're starting from scratch as well. Then we get The Haven. That's, of course, the team that did Fair Games. Well, also from Colin Moriarty. The recent leak is it apparently doesn't feel good to play and is super clunky in the current state. So yeah, there was like a play test. We learned about that from Bloomberg as well. So this has Concord written all over it. I think it's gonna be hard to see that even come to market, or they're really going to put more money into it. But we will see. Again, Insomniac, they did have the Venom game at one point, so maybe okay, what's going on with that? Is that even a thing still? Otherwise, we will wait a long time for all the loose ends that Spider-Man 2 had. Naughty Dog, we touched on that. San Diego is the baseball game. Santa Monica would be then God of War. Although Cory Barlog is, of course, working on a sci-fi game too. But I think they will save that for a bit later. This is Ghost of Yotei. So that would be it. But like, again, I think we will see one or like up to 3 first-party games. And the rest will be Metal Gear Solid. Like, Monster Hunter was last time. So a lot of third-party titles. Lost Soul aside, I do think they will push that again. It got pushed to August. So I think they want to promote that again with a trailer. So yeah, Borderlands 4 obviously has a huge deal with PlayStation. So I'm expecting that too. So that's kind of where I'm at. I want to hear what you think we will see. Fingers crossed for Horizon Online. That would make me happy. But yeah, subscribe for more and I will speak to you soon. Goodbye. Okay, that was a pretty long one. I saw that it was a pretty long one, but we had a lot to discuss. So hope you enjoyed that. I'm gonna put it in the thing here. We got 20 more minutes for the patch notes for Assassin's Creed. Let me see. State of play. I'm very excited for FBC Firebreak. That's coming next month. Yeah, PS Plus. Sony should put more love on PSVR 2 instead of live service games. Well, the potential of money they can make with live service games versus VR, like VR 2, they should have not made it. Or not made a big deal about it. They did not make a big deal about it though. But they should have been maybe more clear, but I get that would like hurt their financials as well if they said, yeah, the Horizon game is the only game we're gonna make for it. Third parties, please help us out. Oh, we got some people talking about the shadows. Maurek, good to see you. Halfway through the shadow story, I stopped understanding what the heck was going on, sadly, yeah. Story jumped around a lot due to the drastic difference between now and Yasuke. If they stuck with what worked in Odyssey, it would have been a lot better. One thing I really missed from the previous games were no findable notes or anything besides very specific quests at once. That's interesting, yeah, good point. Have they confirmed they're working on Horizon 3 yet? I really hope they don't shelve that game. Yeah, they've worked on it. I mean, I read it, right? They said we will have more single-player stories with Aloy. My prediction for the longest time has been, though, if the Horizon Online game is a success, I think we're gonna get a smaller Horizon 3 game. Because... yeah. That sounds crazy to say, actually. But of course, Horizon 2 did not do as well as Zero Dawn. It still did very well, though. So, we will see. But if the online game is, like, blowing up, and they are making the calculations, they are like, okay, we can have these 100 developers on Horizon 3, or we can have them make skins that give us way more profit. Let's do that. That's, of course, an easy... Alpha State means the game still has a long way to go. For what game? It would be awesome if Kratos introduced a new protagonist in the Grease game. Ooh, no. Nice, Joyce, thanks. I hope Insomniac returns to making real games. They're wasting time on that Marvel slop. Well-based gaming, I agree with that, but on the other hand, it's like they were not really successful before Spider-Man. They had a huge, like, fan base, like me, but Sunset Overdrive, I don't think even he reached, like, 1 million units sold. Ratchet & Clank games did reach a few million sold, but also not a lot. So with Spider-Man, they finally were able to, like, Spider-Man really was, like, their moment where all the sort of experience and focus on gameplay and fun traversal finally made sense in the game that people actually, on a bigger scale, wanted to play. And that's why Spider-Man and Marvel really worked for Insomniac, because the ideas they put out themselves just had a very limited audience. And for Insomniac to really grow, I think the Spider-Man moment was crucial. But yeah, I am afraid that we saw in the leak that they wanted to do new IPs. And I do think that now Insomniac means way more than before Spider-Man. So I do hope that people that loved Spider-Man 2 and maybe 3 after it comes out, and then Insomniac does a new IP that maybe, borrows some of the gameplay elements or something from Spider-Man, but then they don't have to pay Marvel 30% of all the revenue or something. Like, that is, of course, great. That would be great for them. So if they even sell 30% less copies, they would make more money on this new IP. So I do hope that people that played Spider-Man and are like, I like that, give the Insomniac new IP, if they ever did it, a shot. But we will have to wait and see. But I love the Spider-Man games, but I also do think that, I do love what Insomniac brought to the table in terms of, like, kind of AAA playful games. And yeah, it does feel like Spider-Man, it kind of lacks some of that. And yeah, I don't know. I do think, having a new IP from Insomniac would at least be great. I love Ratchet & Clank, yeah. Me too. Although I did not really like the last game. It kind of lacked the sort of mature story or something. Like, A Crank in Time was like, I cried during that game. Almost. Sub1 is saying, Subby1, when do you think the Horizon Online project releases? I think next year. When is GTA coming out? That's probably when they will put it out. Black Knight, good to see you. Bye, I'm going to watch Final Destination Bloodlines. Well, Red Hood fan, enjoy. I heard good things about it. If you're still here. Their mobile games are fantastic. I agree, but it's good to have some new IP too, because, like we have Arcane from Deathloop going to Blade. like at one point I worry that a lot of the, and luckily we're not seeing that. We still have like Expedition 33 that is like a lot of new IPs are actually working out. But yeah, at one point it is, I do prefer it if Insomniac introduces a completely new universe, than constantly like from Spider-Man going to Wolverine, going to X-Men, after X-Men, oh, let's go for another Marvel project. No, I think it's good that they stretch their wings as well and hopefully come with something new that we did not know that we wanted. They must have have a lot of ideas now that they've been working on. Their last new IP was, I mean, if you don't count their VR output, was Sunset Overdrive. So week before GTA 6, probably Horizon Online. Day and date for the GTA they will drop. Yeah. Oh no. Nah, they know, right? I mean, I thought they knew. Wolverine, I'm kind of scared. We've gotten no news from Insomniac in a while. I don't think that's like bad news. I mean, they're just working on it. The thing that worries me with Wolverine is the fact that the director left. He was also the director, Brian Horton, on Miles Morales. So then that team, that kind of like the leadership at Miles Morales, went on to make Wolverine. But you don't go halfway through what could be your biggest game. You don't go and leave for Perfect Dark. Wolverine is like here. Perfect Dark is like here. So something I think happened maybe where that caused him to leave. And maybe it was the leak. And the feedback they got on that, I don't know. That's a lot of speculation, of course. I did not like Sunset Overdrive, but the art style. Okay. No, I that game for me, I played it so much that was like a crazy thing. When I walked outside and I saw like railings and stuff, I don't know. I immediately was like, oh, I gotta glide on that. That's like when you play something for too much time, like in one session or something, you in the real world start to see things that match the gameplay design. And I was like, oh, I gotta glide on that. That's sounds crazy, but I love that game. Didn't the leak also show an X-Men game? Yeah, yuppie, as I mentioned. I think Witcher 3 should go God of War Ragnarok combat. You mean Witcher 4 then, right? If we only get a good DC game. Oh, Curtis. I mean, Rocksteady is working on Batman again. Yeah. I really think, and it's not said and done yet, but the live service games have done a lot of like maybe good. Yeah, I mean, I think you could argue live service games have done quite a lot of good things for the industry, and you might be like, oh, why? I love single player. I mean, they have made gaming a crucial part of kids growing up. I think and social, of course, with COVID, like all the live service games were booming in particular because that was a very easy way to still interact with your family and friends, and with people in general. But the chase for the live service games, like having the single player studios make those types of games as well, and not knowing what they were getting into, and then like a Gotham Knights, like Suicide Squad. I mean, in terms of Gotham Knights, it seemed like they wanted to make a live service game, but then halfway through development were like, this is probably not going to work, so let's go back to more a traditional co-op style a game. Because remember, with Gotham Knights, they launched a raid or something, like an arena mode, a few weeks after launch. So, that was crazy. And that hurt. I do think Warner Montreal, I mean, they showed with Arkham Origins, they are capable of making a great game, but what you really see with all these studios is that when there are too many people, you kind of like, this is the project and it goes in this direction. It's like everyone's like pulling at it. No, we have to go this way. No, we have to go this way. Instead of just letting, like with Expedition 33, the creative just envision their like thought of what the game is and it just all working, that is when the best games are made. When there's not like external people are like, yeah, but we have these marketing research and blah blah blah. That's when the best games are made. And it just sucks that now with DC games we don't have a lot of great ones because Warner, and we see that with some other games they put out as well. Like, you really notice that they have some of the best franchises, like a Game of Thrones console AAA open world RPG would be insane. And that mobile game they put out, I actually enjoy it quite a lot because there are a lot of like great gameplay systems, but some of the things that is holding it back is the microtransactions and the fact that they thought, okay, let's make this a mobile first game instead of a console game. So it just sucks to see that with gaming, because there are so many variables, that it can also go wrong in many, many ways. You should talk about how people think about game. Why they haven't made a Teen Titans game? It's so easy. Just do what Guardians of the Galaxy did, but better. I mean, of course, it's not as easy as just do that, but better. I mean, Guardians of the Galaxy also did not sell very well, so we do have some love here for Sunset Overdrive. That's great. You know anything on Chrono Odyssey? No, but I did reach out to the developers. That's a new MMORPG that looks insane for people who don't know what it is. So, is this like it? So yeah, I reached out. Like, I would be down to play this. So yeah, when I have info, I will let you know. Spider-Man 2 was a great game. Loved the interactions between the lead characters. Lots of fun side content. It totally was a great game, Yuppie. I love the set pieces. I was like blown away by every main mission having like some really cool stuff happening. Are you excited for Death Stranding 2? Do you think it will live up to the gamers' expectation or will it be another AAA flop? I'm hoping for it to be good, but the first one was definitely not my cup of tea. As you might know, I have had a couple of predictions this at the start of the year, and one of them was Hellblade 2 coming to PS5. Well, that of course happened, and many others have come out as well. One of them was, I don't think Death Stranding 2 will sell very well, and I think it's gonna be an amazing game for the people that love the first one. But I don't think, and it might be a great game for people who did not like the first one as much, like me, because I like the action, and the second game seems to have way more action. So I want to give it a shot. I want to give it a fair shot. But I do think a lot of people, like, if you paid $70 for it at launch, and the second game, if you look at it, kind of looks similar, I don't think you're going to give this one another shot. So that's why I think they're going to... Yeah, it won't sell as well maybe at launch. But I do think over time it will do probably great with PC port and stuff like that. So it came to Xbox, the first one as well, although I don't think it sold very well there. But Thomas, you make a great point too. Studios losing its key people who make them famous is what destroys them too. Yeah, for sure. A lot of companies just only have the name, and then you think, oh, it's the new BioWare game, and then it's like nothing like what they previously did. And yeah, I do think Ubisoft kind of has that issue too with some of their games. Hogwarts Legacy showed they have talent. Oh, for sure. Like, I think the second game is going to do very well. And I'm happy that they're still doing single player. Like, they're going to do a GTA Online style Hogwarts Legacy game, but that seems to be a separate game. I think Chrono Odyssey is going to be a sleeper. I mean, all these types of games, these... it's like a Korean game. Where are they from? Let's see. I'm not sure, but all these Asian, like, these developers are like killing it. I saw someone say, I'm waiting for the Wukong DLC, and I was like, that is also a possibility that out of nowhere there's gonna be a Wukong DLC. Hey, Young Gassy, good to see you. I don't like Death Stranding. I want to see Bison, the next Kojima game. Hope it's not a slop. Yeah, me too. Again, like, I really like Kojima games. I was kind of bummed out that he was making Death Stranding 2 because I think that's that new game that he announced at a State of Play actually was way more. It sounds way more exciting, like an espionage game again, Metal Gear, but not Metal Gear. Just not have the delivery gameplay. Yes, please. Like I think that would be insane, and PlayStation getting that as an exclusive could be huge. But maybe Kojima was like, but you first get Death Stranding 2. And they were like, okay, we'll take it. Because I think, and I said it, I think, before, but to me, it's crazy that Death Stranding 2 gets a sequel and Days Gone not. Sure, Death Stranding 2 has a higher Metacritic, but I think a Death Stranding or a Days Gone 2 would sell more than Death Stranding 2. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's my take on it, and I think it's kind of wild that Sony is like, here, Kojima, get more money to make Death Stranding 2. Obviously, it's kind of a different structure with Kojima Productions and how they like put it on other platforms as well. But I really think that it's kind of wild to me that we did not get Days Gone 2 while we do have Death Stranding 2. My biggest gaming dream is seeing Metal Gear Solid 6. It's not gonna happen. If it's gonna happen, it will be at Konami and not with Kojima involved. So I don't think you want that. Death Stranding 2 is way too niche. Yeah, and Days Gone 2 I think would do pretty well. Hogwarts was awesome, but needed DLCs. It needed some sort of post-launch. Again, I still think it's wild to me that people have not looked at Odyssey, Valhalla, and even Origins and been like, what if we did that for our single-player open-world RPG? It's clear that more people like to play these games, that more people want to spend more time in the world we created because they are spending hundreds of hours, or like 100 hours. But yeah, then it's over. But they still want to exist in this world. What if we add more free content and get then money from DLC or like cosmetics that Assassin's Creed is selling? I think it's kind of wild that an Hogwarts Legacy did not do like a free new mission every week or something. Or like more companies have not done that. They're all focused on, no, it has to be multiplayer for it to get like a huge roadmap and whatever. So yeah, I think that's still kind of crazy. We still are seeing it more, like Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 has sort of a roadmap as well, but it's obviously not the same. I do think there's, those companies are kind of leaving some money on the table by not supporting their single player games more and more consistent, I think. Blazing Flame, JorRaptor, when do you think Summer Game Fest did not announce partners because not too many game devs? Oh, that's interesting. It might be that they're just waiting for it to be like closer to the event. I would be shocked if not too many people show up. But maybe if it's like if it could be seen as like a negative thing, that obviously is not what you want. I now see that the Game Awards Twitter account, they put up Infamous was released 16 years ago today by Insomnia Games. What? Crazy. It's Sucker Punch. And I see some like things on my. So Thomas, he was like at Sucker Punch. Delete this. It was Sucker Punch. James Stevens from Insomniac. It, of course, was our big release after Jack and Daxter and Crash Bandicoot. Nice. Okay, I think the patch notes. Patch notes. Yeah, 14 seconds ago. We're fast. Let's do it. Bleep. Placeholder image. Oh my god. Ubisoft. What? Did they post it here too? Yay! But not... Oh, this is the image. Did they fix it already? Okay. Well, we're gonna do it from this. We're gonna do it here. This is like... Oh my god. Ubisoft dropped the patch notes for the Assassin's Creed Shadows update. That is, of course, launching on May... Or let's do that again. Ubisoft dropped the patch notes for the Assassin's Creed Shadows update that will be launching on May 27th. So maybe by the time you watch this already, we'll of course do a big video on the main channel where we go in depth on everything. But here I already want to give my reaction as we go through the patch notes for the first time. They forgot to update the header image and it looks wild. Please provide the real image to be used. If anyone has the real image, give it to them, because this looks kind of wild. So yeah, this is the time that the update goes live. 2 p.m. UTC, 10 a.m. EDT, 7 a.m. PT. In Europe, it's 4 p.m. Not very sizable. Of course, PS5 has like sick technology where all the patches are like way less. Oh wow, okay. Patch highlights. Thrown to the Dogs quest unlocked. With this update, all players will receive access to the pre-order bonus quest, Thrown to the Dogs. Help a loyal dog, avenge his late master, and unlock the pet to place it in your hideout. This quest all is available early in the game, once you have completed the From Spark to Flame. I think that's after you unlock Yasuke, but correct me if I'm wrong. So, make sure you have a 15 minutes spare time, and then you can do this mission. I thought it was like fun, but it was like very, very short. Very short. Okay, let's go to the special collab. Ooh, Papi Luku. That looks kind of sick. That looks kind of sick, to be fair. Special collab. We're excited to unveil our first special collaboration with the new Dead by Daylight event coming to Assassin's Creed Shadows. As villagers begin to disappear, Naue becomes suspicious of the strange presence attacking the local people of Harima. To succeed, you'll need to master unique mechanics and confront a formidable otherworldly foe. Naue, so Yasuke, we cannot play Yasuke in this event. This event comes with a new quest that you can access from the hideout upon unlocking Yasuke as a playable character. Once the event is completed, you will obtain a free trinket and a banner. Okay, so it does at least have a free reward, but it's a free trinket. We will learn more, I think, about the trinket in a moment. You'll be able to further personalize your two characters with a Dead by Daylight inspired pack in the store, of course, featuring outfits, weapons, trinkets, and a chance to ride off into the shadows with none other than the loyal steed, Maurice. Okay. I have not played Dead by Daylight, so maybe this is like a cool wink or whatever. But I think this looks pretty cool. So yeah, this is the trinket. We're also adding a new trinket for Naue and an amulet for Yasuke called Winning Hand, directly inspired by Balatro. These new items come with a legendary perk that gives you a chance to trigger a random affliction effect on a combo integer. Now you'll need to work together to figure out how to get it. This is great stuff. This is awesome. Okay. That's awesome. So that is next to the free trinket we get from the Dead by Daylight event. They are also adding a new trinket for Naue and Yasuke. Chance to trigger a random affliction effect on a combo ender. Not very good. But still, I think it could be fun. But yeah, new items are always great. So this is a cool surprise. Okay, then we have the parkour improvements. The team has prepared a bunch of improvements to enhance the parkour mechanics. We want to give you a big thank you to all your dedicated parkour players for their ongoing feedback since launch. Here are the main changes. The new vertical jump. We see Yasuke do the vertical jump. We're adding a brand new parkour interaction, allowing both Naue and Yasuke to jump and grab any ledge, endings or overhangs within reach, reducing the need to rely on vertical wall runs, which is great. Like, otherwise, if you wanted to like reach this overhang here, you had to, of course, wall run up this wall and then get there. But now you can run, jump, and yeah, reach it faster. And Yasuke can do it too. And with this, Yasuke can actually reach points that he could not first reach. So that's going to be very, very exciting. I think it's going to be quite a game changer for him. To trigger it, simply press the jump button as you approach low overhangs and your character will make the jump. Sprint toggle lock. As long as a directional input are maintained, sprint no longer disengages when using parkour up or parkour down. So basically you come running, you do parkour, and then you keep running when you hit the roof. Super great as well. First you would like slow down, so this is great. Enhanced back and side ejects. We also enhanced the distance and height of side and back ejects, favoring foot landings over hand landings. This includes a new animation for Naue when performing a height-gaining side eject, extending her capacity to remain high up during parkour. So that's awesome. That's like the sort of twist around. Kind of Unity inspired. They also have new photo mode features. The photo mode is receiving the biggest update for an Assassin's Creed game. Okay. With the addition of new features to better customize your shots and to make the most out of capturing the beauty of feudal Japan. To be fair, I don't think in the previous Assassin's Creed games we had like huge photo mode updates. But correct me if I'm wrong. I think they did change like small things, but never like added big things. Change the time of day. Give it in the game. For now, it's only in the photo mode, but that's still nice. Play around with numerous poses and facial expressions. Great. Toggle headgear on and off. That's awesome. Play music while editing your shots. This is seemingly a thing for people that are like spending hours in the photo mode. So I'm happy for them. I'm like, what? Sticker colorization, new customization frames, save custom filters, reset only one parameter, tweak camera speed, improved preview mode, full screen for PC only. We hope you enjoy these new customization options and be sure to share them. Time of day, that's huge. Let's go over some other fixes and potential nerfs. Fix the issue where players had the persistent new item notification in the inventory. We did it. Like, there was always an exclamation mark, even though you saw everything. So this is great. Nice. Address an issue where some players were given a new save file at level 60 with gear and all objectives uncovered. That's insane. I did not know that was an issue. Fix an issue where the synchronization warning for killing a civilian would appear without any reason. Fix an issue where romancing Lady Noshi before romancing Rin would cause a breakup. Yeah, I heard about this. That was crazy. But I do think there are breakups. But yeah, this was not part of it. Fix an issue where Samurai Daisho and Ronin occasionally gave an extremely high amount of mon regardless of their level. Yeah, decentivizing other methods of getting mon. Basically, yeah, they are nerfing the amount of mon we get from Ronins. We have also particularly rebalanced the mon economy to encourage more world exploration and gameplay activities to earn crafting materials. Ooh, okay. So, that's another interesting change. Because right now, if you found one of those roaming merchants, those secret merchants, and just sold all your hideout resource like I did, I have like unlimited money now. But yeah, if you still want to do that before this update. But yeah, that will likely give you way less money now. But I think it's good if they give more money from open world exploration and gameplay activities. But we will have to wait and see what the impact of that will be. In pursuit of this, we bumped up the cost of crafting materials and hideout resources sold by merchants and lowered the quantity available each season. Okay, so they just bumped the cost of getting these items. I'm curious if it also means that if you sell them, you get less. That's probably going to be the case, because maybe you would argue that if you sell like these resources, you get like a percentage of the price that. No, but then you would maybe sell them for more. I digress. We will see. If you still want to purchase them, we've increased the amount of mon acquired from completing contracts. Okay, so that's actually good. So completing the contracts in the safe house actually gives you more. What else do we have? Fixing the issue where Yagoro would become trapped in a cocoon. Fixing the issue where players could remain stuck. Quest, I don't want to read those for spoiler reasons. Fixing the issue where the Shinobi Bell effect was blocked by a line of sight from NPCs. Adjust an issue where the 600 engraving was a text error. Yeah, it was like 6%. We still saw those. The Samurai Daimyo outfit, visual issue fix. Issue where the mounts would not fully fit in the stable. Yeah, that's right. Some Helix mounts. Okay, that's it. That's it. So, yeah, it's still pretty nice overall, but it's going to be a booting up the game, having hopefully a good time. Again, I think this looks great. This freaking image with Naue in this new area for Dead by Daylight looks awesome. But again, I think it's going to be more than 15 minutes, but I think half an hour is stretching it. So it's going to be fun to play through this and maybe toy around with the new parkour mechanics. But of course, the game is not really made for parkour. So, and then, yeah, you will wait another 3 weeks for other things. They do seem to add more and more, though. It seems like they kind of started slow, but every update we got more. So I will, of course, be updating you here. We will have a breakdown of the updates. I'll be streaming the Dead by Daylight event as well, for if you want to watch it with me or see my reaction to it, etc. So that will be exciting. Of course, subscribe to This is JorRaptor for more reaction videos like this. We will have some parkour things as well. So stay tuned. It's going to be great. And let me know what you think of the update, of course, in the comments down below. Thanks to Maya, as always, for the support. Whenever I've seen current Dead by Daylight players, they have hours in the 4 digits, and they always say they hate the game. How does that work? That's crazy. Yeah, I love the... I hate this game. There's nothing to do after 100 hours. Like, I always love these comments. PlayStation just announced the days of play. Okay, we have more news. Or at least the ability to keep a season without changing it. Yeah, I do hope we get more freedom. But I do think they will give it, but it will likely be near the end of the life cycle. Love the parkour improvements. Yeah, the parkour improvements are amazing. Balatro collab, let's go. Blazing Flame, do you think Ubisoft will have enough gaming content to warrant a showcase? No, and that's why they will not do a showcase. So, don't expect it. Oh, they actually shared a video. They actually shared a video of the update as well. Let's watch it. So yeah, we see the cool new moves here. Some of the photo mode features. Available now? No, it's not available now. Check the full patch notes. I mean, it's fine. It's pretty good. It's a nice update. I hope we get more parkour updates in the future. Me too. It feels good, but kind of underwhelming, the patch. Yeah, it's what I expected. It's kind of what I expected. What did PlayStation announce? Sales? I don't see it. Are they ever going to bring back the quick sell at the blacksmith? That's a good question. Yeah, that broke the game. They seemingly need way more time with that. I'm just looking forward to July when we get New Game Plus. July for New Game Plus is not confirmed, sadly. Yeah, Markerman, I hope they fix it for you. When do you think we will get the Black Flag remake announcement? I think they're going to shadow drop it. So I think they're going to be like, in November, they're going to like, ooh, check out the reveal tomorrow. I think they're going to do that. Hope we get more side quests and things to do in the world. Yeah, me too. Hey, at least we get a reward this time for the quest, even though it's just a trinket. Yeah, it's a step in the right direction, I guess, Codex Seeker. I appreciate. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. Hope the gaming events in June will be good. Me too. We did need this update, to be fair. We totally did, but it still feels like it will just make the game way better for when they actually start adding new stuff. So, like I've said it before, going into Shadows, I expected to be still playing the game more regularly than I am. But to be fair, they're adding big updates and features right now. So when I eventually go really back into the game, there will be a lot of stuff. Like, obviously, I will play every update and everything. But I think for a lot of people who drop the game, then go back into the game for the DLC in September, if that's the date, that was, of course, the leak date. I think that will really work, and then they will be like, whoa, they added quite a lot of cool new stuff. So, PS Pro discount to $50, $50 cheaper. That's pretty nice. I love my PS5 Pro. I think the roadmap showed that New Game Plus is coming beyond June, but we don't know when. It's gonna be in the first year, though. I need news on the Final Fantasy IX remake. Everyone knows it exists, but they keep hiding, yeah. I do think they also want to like announce that and then launch it very quickly. Hey, at least we get a reward this time. Oh yeah, I already read that. Sony went cheaper, yeah. It's the first time I think there is a discount. I heard we might get a Crimson Desert demo in June. Okay. I'm actually playing the game this weekend again. It's the same demo that we already played, but I will be going to TwitchCon in Rotterdam. So I will be going hands-on. So that should be cool. The link for the discount is in the Discord. Let's quickly go over that. Ba, 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 da, ba. Oh, it's from Insider Gaming. They have the exclusive. So Sackboy, Big Adventure, discounts like a lot of games. First party games. Astrobot only 17%. Horizon Collector's Edition. That's crazy. When will this go live? May 28th. Or Wednesday. Maybe this sounds crazy, but I might get this collector's edition if it's still available in the Netherlands, because I gave away my regular elephant. I only have the green one to a friend because he his girlfriend they split up, and then his girlfriend got the elephant statue while he played Horizon and she did not. So I was like, oh, dude, that sucks. Here, have my elephant. I have 2 of them anyways. But yeah, it still hurts because I want all the collector's editions. So I might get it if it's like discounted. Spider-Man 2 collector's edition. They have like quite some collector's edition. For the Venom, 130. Horizon, Lego Horizon, 50%. Hardware. This console cover, Cosmic Red. There's a lot here. Okay. PS Plus will also be discounted 30%. East Blue Drew, I will let you know how Crimson Desert plays very soon. Bro, what is this story? I'm just a good friend. That's all you need to know. That's all you need to know about it. Claire Obscure shows me where I want to spend my money. Thanks, RoboWisso, for sharing the link, by the way. What is this story? I think that's a good good story to end it on. So thanks, everyone, for joining, of course. Will you play the Gothic remake? I have no plans for that, Takuso. But yeah, again, we'll of course be back next Monday, and we will have more streams tomorrow. Hope you can enjoy the Tiny Build showcase that we're live reacting to. Yeah, tomorrow there's a countdown on the main channel. We'll also be live with the Dead by Daylight content and way more. So it's gonna be a good time. Hope you have a great